All right, hello. It's about 9:30, April 20th, 2023, and it was we had a lot of clouds again around again today until later in the afternoon when they cleared up. Um, you can see later in the afternoon we had the clouds clear up, but for a good part of the day, you can see that batch of clouds there. It was like a mid-level deck. I'd have to actually make this 120 frames. You see that mid-level deck kind of sitting over us. New Jersey was a little clearer. And then we had some scattered cirrus here and there. But all in all, a very cool day across the area. But before I even get started with that, we got to talk about the tornado that hit Shawnee last night because Shawnee, Oklahoma, was pounded by this tornado. And I don't know what the rating of it is right now. We have a couple of articles here. Right now it said I'm trying to see what the rating was for it. They're not really saying what the rating is in any of these articles here. Heavy damage throughout, so we don't know if there's a rating or not. It hit a university as well. Large tornadoes. Let's see. Nothing about the actual rating of that tornado. I'm kind of curious about right now, but there is an art. We can look at AccuWeather and see what they have as well. But it was really the damage in this area was incredible. You could see. Let's see if it's not showing it, but if I put tornado in here, it will show the damage that you see. Just lots and lots of structure damage. I think there's been at least one death. I think, and you can see here. Let's see. This is from the National Weather Service. Outbreak here of April 19, 2023. So this is a little summary already that they have for it. This was generally in the Oklahoma City area. And Shawnee is sort of like, I guess, an exurb or suburb of it. Let's see. So we're going to go to the damage here, right? So this is some of the damage that occurred from this tornado here. You can see a lot of structures damaged. And these are metal. I think those are metal power lines that have come down. Yep. So that's how damaged it was here. The damage was rated at EF3. So they're saying this was an EF3 tornado, but it was a large wedge EF3. It was a large tornado. And you can see, it brought down the transmission infrastructure. That's why I said the whole transmission system serving Shawnee was destroyed by this tornado. They only have a few lines going in and out. It's not that big of a town. If we go to OG&E here, which is the electric company for that area, you can see some of the pictures there. Kind of restringing the wires here. Looks like I don't know what kind of line that is there that they're working on. They don't have too many pictures of it, but you get an idea that there has been, there has been significant damage here. So right now, it's as of 18,300 customers, probably mostly the city of Shawnee that's completely out right now. So due to these, until they restore that transmission system, the power is going to be out in Shawnee for a while. So if we go and we go to Shawnee, and actually can get some information from them as well. Just put this back here. All right, so go to news here. We can just go to all and go to the city of Shawnee here. Because this is not a small town. I mean, it's a small city, but it's not that small of a city. It's a college town. All right. So let's see. They have a site here. Let's see if they have any information on the tornado posted here on their Twitter. And let's see if they have that. Nothing. So it does not look like they have anything on this, which is kind of surprising. You would think they would have people updated on this, but whatever the case is, significant tornado that hit that area and caused a lot of damage in that area. And if we go to the AccuWeather here, first of all, we're going to look at, I wasn't going to look at the radar first, but we're actually going to go and this is EF3 damage found in Cole was another city. It was on the ground for a while. So it says 3 fatalities have been confirmed after a large and damaging tornado struck the town of Cole, Oklahoma, Wednesday evening. As the sun rose Thursday morning, the full scope of the damage in Cole was becoming clearer. There were 2 victims. They were county residents. And then a 3rd fatality had been confirmed by the sheriff's office. But they're still determining where they're from. So you could see some of the pictures of the damage here. Look at that. That is a Shawnee right there. You can see that is a McDonald's sign there, completely destroyed. It went through the main business district of the town too, so it went through right the middle. Wednesday was the deadliest tornado day in Oklahoma since May 20th, 2013. So that's how bad this tornado was. It was a significant tornado. And Reed Timmer, I shared his video of it, which was incredible. Just look at the posts. It was absolutely incredible, his video of it. So homes being leveled, lots of down power lines, and it also hit Oklahoma Baptist University as well. So this is a look at what the radar was like last night, and you can see these storms just going nuts. It looks like it actually went going over Norman, Oklahoma, too, as well, which is where the severe that's where the severe storms center was. So incredible stuff here, and there were various tornadoes that wound up hitting in that area. So just incredible outbreak. And like I said, we're only in April here. I think the peak of tornado season isn't until May. We haven't even reached the peak yet. So that's just how bad things are getting. All right. So let's take a look at the weather map. Well, we're going to first focus on what our day was like today. So let's go and look at the weather and hazards map. And you'll see also, by the way, we've got a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, some flash flood warnings and a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Don't see any tornado warnings, luckily, and we've got those red flag warnings also in effect in those usual areas because it's been dry and windy there. Parts of Kansas, southwest Kansas, into southeast Colorado into New Mexico, and parts of West Texas. And we have some winter weather going up way up north of Minnesota there, Minneapolis. So it looks like we have one severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Grand Rapids. This one kind of sticks out there. So let's take a look at what our day was like across the area. We're having saying there's some kind of issue with their site. So that may be why we're seeing all these weird characters on the screen. But it was a cool day across the area. They had the easterly winds. Between that and the cloud cover in the middle of the day, kind of really, the sun came out later on in the afternoon. But you could see, for the most part, we had temperatures generally in the 50s today. You could see all day long 50s. It looks like it did touch 60 at Islip. Generally 50s with the east. We had very light and variable winds throughout the day. They were kind of just variable, and then they became southeast, and then southwest later on in the day, and now they're just south. Very light winds across the area. So I'm expecting our highs to be fairly uniform along Long Island and getting warmer as you head toward inland areas. So let's go and look at our highs. Right now you can see temperatures are around 50 degrees, 52, and on the North Shore, unfortunately, in the alley, yeah, it's a little warmer than that. It's like 58, so yeah. Some of the areas, even New Jersey, is in the 40s right now. So let's go look at the high temperatures for today. It looks like we have high temperatures, generally near normal. Low 60s, upper 50s, 59, 61. A little cooler right on the Forks, and warmer as you head inland. The city was more like toward the mid 60s. It looks like. Looking at Jersey, you can see even Jersey was cool too, with that wind coming in off the ocean. You had to go into interior Jersey, North Jersey in particular, to see temperatures near 70 degrees. Other than that, 65 at Central Park, by the way, for the highs. So let's go look at the lows. And we did have some radiational cooling last night. Got down to 30 at West Hampton. Otherwise, 42 at Islip, mid-40s in the city, and low 40s in New Jersey, generally speaking. So a little bit below normal on the lows because of that radiational cooling. So the skies today actually did turn out to be a little sunnier later on, like after 2, 3 o'clock, just like yesterday. And I got to spend a little time outside enjoying it. And a little bit of time in that cherry blossom was actually in Mineola, by the way, but this is Babylon. Yeah, I saw a few pitch pines. These trees are leafing out very early, too, by the way. These are, I believe, maples. A lot of the trees leafing out very early. The pines have early candles on them because everything is way ahead of schedule here because it's been so warm. That's the lake. So really nice day for a walk. Not too hot at all across the area. So it's pretty nice. So let's look at the Weather Prediction Center. Yeah, Weather Prediction Center. So here's the weather map, and you can see we've got the sort of that backdoor. See, we're not getting to that heat. That heat is over here, luckily, and so we got the cool air, easterly flow coming in, the onshore flow. Here's the cold front. That's where the severe weather is breaking out. Low, way up in, of course, way up in the Great Lakes again, like it always has been, and then dry out west, looks like. So when we look at our Storm Prediction Center, whoa, go to overview here. You'll see that you have, again, this area here, which is where we have a slight risk here. Slight risk. It looks like we have some flash flood. Are those flash flood watches too? Or is that? No, that's the severe thunderstorm watch right there. And you can see, oh, there was some red over here. So it looks like they did issue some enhanced risk, or is that a tornado warning they issued, or a tornado watch over there? I wonder if there were a couple of active cells that came through over there. Right around Chicago there. Let's see. There was one tornado reported, apparently, already. It says one tornado report. So if we go to our storm reports here, let's see. I don't see where the tornado would be reported. Let's see. Tornado reports 1. So it looks like it's in northeast Texas. The rest were reports for hail and wind being reported there. But there was one report of a tornado, interestingly enough. And the watches, again, this will show the watches and convective outlook. This is your convective outlook right here. And you can see, again, there's that slight risk that goes to East Texas up northeast from there. And you can see there was some red there. So that must have been a warning. Or is that a fire weather thing? I don't know what that is. It showed up over there. Looks like something happened over here. I don't know what that is about. But anyway, if we go to the fire weather risk, you can see that's where the elevated are. I should show this. No, our area isn't in elevated, probably because that marine flow. You'll see there's some elevated and critical northern New Mexico there. So, yeah. So, let's go to the radar. All right, we'll do that now, and we'll show you this cold front here. So this is the cold front right here, and I guess they had some warnings out for some of these storms here up in Illinois, entering Michigan, and then this line that snakes down Indiana through through Missouri, through Arkansas, and through the southeastern corner of Oklahoma into East Texas. And, down into actually southern Texas, too. So it looks like it's heading toward Austin right now, and Houston may be dealing with some of these thunderstorms later for sure. So that's quite a line there, and that's our next chance for rain, by the way. All right, so let's take a look at lightning here. We'll see how much lightning is being produced by this line. And you can see, oh, there's quite a bit of it. Yep. It's quite an active line here as this moves east, and it's going to move into that warm, moist air. That's ahead of that front. If we go back to the weather and hazards map, if we put this back to the temperatures here, the actual station reports here, you'll see, once you head into this area, you'll see the temperature shoot up quite a bit. You got 70s into Ohio. And yeah, this is the air mass you have ahead of the front, 73. Though the humid, it's not that humid. I see a dew point of 45, so it's not too humid. But yeah, as you head further south, that's where you start getting into the humidity. So right ahead of that front is where you're going to see that moisture, and that's going to help feed that front and make it more active, obviously. Behind it, you can see it's drier, much drier air. I don't know, I see a dew point of 52. It's not that dry. Yeah, that's the dew point of 17, so there's a little bit of a lag, but this is the drier air. It's drier air, heavier than more humid air, so that pushes the more humid air up and creates all that convection there. And again, looking at this, you'll see, again, we got this back door front in our area. Let's just move this over to Ventus Sky to show you what we got. So you can see the cool air at the coast, but if you head inland into Pennsylvania, a lot warmer. If I rewind it, look at the way things were at 2 o'clock, you'll see much warmer. You can see temperatures up near 80 degrees, Western PA and Washington in the 80s, D.C., that is. And then you can see the cooler temperatures at the coast here, thanks to that nice, cool breeze that we had coming in off the water here, easterly winds, keeping things much, much cooler, fortunately. So let's now go to the weather maps, and we'll go ahead and look at the models and again, you see that ridge over us, that high pressure, keeping fair weather. We have one more day of fair weather, and then this cold front gets closer and closer. Here we are. It's a Saturday night into Sunday morning thing. We have this cold front come through, and that's our next chance of rain. And then after that, that may be our only chance of rain. They'll have to see if this low gets stuck over here off the coast. It could perhaps give us some rain chances into next week. But other than that, it doesn't really look like there's going to be all that much rain next week. You can see the troughiness in the east, though. That's going to keep things cooler for us. So let's go to the and I'll talk about the long range a little more. Actually, let's do that first because I got to wait for the HRRR to come in. Yeah, that's right. So we'll show you this again. So here is the long range because usually on Friday nights I don't go into it too much. So you see the changes that will be occurring now until we get into next week. You see the troughiness in the east, and that's going to mean cooler weather, especially next weekend. See a trough there. Cooler weather is going to be with us for the end of April and perhaps into the beginning of May. All right, so if we look at the height, you'll see the troughiness here. Ridge gives way to troughiness, and then we have that little bit of blocking there in Greenland there, keeping that troughiness in place over the east. Where was this during the winter? So, yeah, we'll have cooler weather as we head into May. All right. So let's go to the. Actually, before I do that, I almost forgot. We'll go to the local past weather and we'll look at ice slips readings for today, just to look at what we had. So 60 degrees. We were just about normal at ice slip today. Just about normal. 60, high 60, low 42. Just about normal for the day. The only thing that's not normal is the lack of precipitation that we're continuing to deal with. All right. So you see there's that trough. Again, we looked at this already. So let's go look at our temperature anomaly chart, and you'll see how things change. So this week we're gonna have a little. Tomorrow will be a little warmer than Saturday, and then after that, once you get into Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, we're gonna be at or below normal throughout. You can see the trough in the east. We could have some much below normal temperatures as we get toward Tuesday. So yeah, it could be pretty cool out. Be cooler than normal, which is something we haven't seen that much of lately. And if you look at the CPC here, Climate Prediction Center, you'll see that 6 to 10 day we are below normal. Indeed, that below normal is for the whole east and a little bit above normal precipitation, and we could use that above normal for precipitation because again, we just haven't had much rain and we're really hurting for rain. So let's go look at our. This is again the model right through here. You see the normal readings in the east. All right, but let's go look at total accumulated precip, and we can also do that from the Weather Prediction Center too, as well. It shows the whole country all the way to the end, and it looks like it is giving us some rain, perhaps as much as 1 to 2 inches between now and the first week of May. But that'll help, but it's not going to be enough to really get us out of it. If we can look at this is a QPF map from the through the thing, and we can go all the way up to day 7. This doesn't do a total. All right, no, yeah, this is the total. All right, day 1, 2, day 1 to 3. So it does give us some rain, but not most of the rain is falling in the south and southeast. But we'll be getting something dry in the west. So the spigot of moisture that they've been dealing with, like on the entire winter, has finally been shut off. The Pineapple Express or Pacific Jet or whatever you want to call it is no longer present. So let's go to our local view now, and hopefully we'll have enough of the HRRR into. Yeah, we don't. That's what I thought. This is the problem when you're going. So tomorrow, obviously, you're not going to see any rain. And as far as Saturday goes, this is as far as we got for Saturday. But it's probably not going to rain that much on Saturday. Here's the cold front right here, right? That will be coming and bringing us our next chance of rain. Dew points and wind flow. Let's take a look at that. So we got the easterly winds. We continue to have the easterly winds tomorrow. Almost a little more easterly and a little stronger, a little more of a breeze tomorrow than Today, you could see fairly low dry air, but you notice a little bit of dew point pooling over Jersey. And we talked about this fog that we might, stratus level that might actually, layer that might come in as we get toward the afternoon, or even toward the early afternoon for Jersey. And actually, yeah, look at how evident it is. Yeah, so again, this model seems to want to predict it. So tonight, probably not going to drop off as much as it has the other nights, probably mainly 40s. Tomorrow, we'll have highs, low 70s, Mid-Island and North Shore, New York City, South Shore 60s, and then Jersey. You see look at what it does here over New Jersey. It's got this cool patch over here. That is the stratus. It has it bringing in over Ocean and Monmouth County. The rest of the state's dealing with 70s. That area may be dealing with only 50s. It might actually be cooler there than here. And then we'll see the temperatures drop as we get toward the afternoon, 50s. And then as far as we got into Saturday, it's all we got on this model. So let's go to the... Yeah, I'm looking at the temperatures. Let's go look at the soundings. This is what I want to look at. So let's go look at the soundings. We'll pick 18Z, which is like 2 o'clock. So this is the sounding for Long Island that we're going to look at here in a minute. Hopefully we can get it. Hopefully it comes up as we sit here and wait for the spinning circle to do its thing. Doesn't seem like it wants to work. We'll try it again. All right, I'll move it back like to 17. See, maybe that'll work. All right, does not seem like we can get sounding. That kind of sucks. All right, no soundings, I guess. Let me see if I put it over New Jersey. Maybe it'll work. Nope, I guess we can't get soundings. Okay, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. I can use another tool that I have. So we want to go a little further here and look at our dew points and wind flow, which we will go ahead and do. And I'll move this to the GFS. So GFS here, you can see south winds. As we get into Saturday, that'll bring in more of a south to southeast flow. That'll bring in more moisture ahead of that front, bring in the rain. And then as we get into Sunday, the west winds take over and push the front east with drier air building in. And then we'll have drier air throughout next week with mainly northerly flows or easterly flows into next week. You can see that. That's generally a cool direction for the wind to be in. And that'll be backed up by when we look at these temperatures. All right, so as we get into your Saturday, you'll see Saturday will be the last really day where we're going to see maybe close to 70 or even 70s in Jersey, because after that, as we get to Sunday, we're going to only be upper 60s. Still looks like it's getting it close to 70, however. But then, this is when the cool air comes in Monday. We're going to have temperatures generally in the 50s, perhaps for highs, not even 60. And same thing for Tuesday as well. Perhaps 60 in Jersey, but only maybe 50s or 40s on Long Island. And that could be due to that low that could get stuck and keep us in the clouds and possibly some showers. And then we warm up into the 60s for Wednesday, next Thursday. But you can see generally saying no real heat. No heat. We have a couple of really cool days in the mix here. Those are probably going to be days with cloud cover, I'm assuming. So if we look at we'll go to the precipitation here. All right, so here comes your front again, your cold front for the overnight Saturday to Sunday. It's starting to slow it down again a little bit. So let's go look at the amount of rainfall that actually gives total accumulated precip. So it gives, it's backing off a little bit now. It's only giving like a half an inch to parts of Long Island. Other areas may see like a quarter of an inch. And then as we move this through the week, there'll be a couple of chances for rain on Tuesday. But it probably won't be all that heavy. That low there, you can see it's fairly light with the position of that low. And then after that, we're dry. Generally dry. We're just dealing with clouds. It wouldn't be maybe until this, which is for May 1st, which we don't know if that's going to happen. That could be a soaker. That could give us a lot of rain right there. And that's something we kind of could use at this point because we're so dry. That or some strong thunderstorms. And that would, again, get us, if we go over here and we look at the rainfall here, when we move this along here, you'll see once we factor that storm in, now we're talking, that'll get us maybe over the 2-inch mark, maybe for rainfall. But we're really, like I said, really to go through April, we may have make an inch of rain. It's pretty crazy. Sorry, just get some water. So let's go look at the skies, and then I'll come back to the HRRR. Hopefully, we'll have a little more of that, and to look at Saturday. So Sunday, you can see it looks like it's bringing out sun in New Jersey. Tomorrow, with high clouds around. Saturday, we're going to have plenty of clouds. Sunday, more likely to see sun breaking out in New Jersey. For Monday, again, we have that cyclonic flow, so we'll have to watch out for clouds. And look at this, it's kind of weird. It has clouds over Long Island, less clouds over New Jersey. For Wednesday, it's got a little more clouds, and then we have a lot more clouds as we get toward the end of the weekend. Like I said, those cold days will probably be days where the sun won't be out. And then we have some, like I said, we have some unusual setups there with the blocking now in place. That'll keep us a little cooler than normal for a change. All right, let's go to the RGM, which is my other model to use for clouds. And again, this is the 18Z run. So for tomorrow, you see it's showing just a little bit of cirrus around. Not really much in the way of, it could be cirrus, it could be contrails, it could be a lot of contrails around. There's a lot of upper level moisture. It's kind of like, wanted to look at that sounding. And then it's breaking out that fog. This is the thing. This is the RGM doing this stratus layer that forms. It doesn't form until the evening. And then obviously for Saturday, we have a lot more clouds. And then Sunday, again, we try to clear it out in the afternoon, particularly over Jersey. And then there are other models you can use as well. The NAM. This is the NAM. And the NAM shows this up. So the NAM and the HRRR are showing this as well. This bank of clouds that's going to develop off to the south. And because of the east winds, it's going to go into New Jersey. Now, maybe not onto Long Island yet. And then Long Island will work its way into Long Island after 5 o'clock or so. This is all stratus. This is low clouds here. And actually, maybe if I do the sounding here, it'll work. So just to show you what I mean. I still can't pull up a sounding. I don't know. Yeah, apparently we just can't get sound. Oh, here we go. So you'll see, there's the stratus right there. It's where they meet 5350. That's where they meet right there. Is a stratus deck right there. Probably not drizzle, but just stratus. Fracto clouds. So you can see these two are kind of close together up at the high levels. That's upper level moisture right there. And if we just back this off a little bit to 18, which is what I want to do, put that over Long Island. If we can get this to work here. You can see it's kind of close together on Long Island, too. It's kind of unusual to see this. And then you have a little bit of mid-level moisture and a little bit of upper-level moisture. So as far as getting a nice blue sky, we were lucky today we got a little bit of it, but we'll have to see. Maybe tomorrow we will, but less likely if you're over New Jersey. For whatever reason, those clouds seem to want to advect into New Jersey. Let's take a look at the NAM 12. This is I don't have enough of the zeros at the end, but let's look at the 18Z here, and we'll see. So here's the 18Z NAM 12, just to show you when that front comes through. And yeah, this is something we'll have to watch. There might even be some thunderstorms with it. See, it looks like a pretty defined front here. I see a little bit of a V, a gentle V in the isobars. So we'll have a better idea with this tomorrow. But this looks like it could be a heavy front, but as far as rainfall, look at what happens. It kind of gets to Long Island. It just falls apart. And that's a problem. If we look at the total accumulated precip on this, Long Island's in a hole. We got like less than a quarter of an inch. Whereas the East End gets a little more like 0.50, and New Jersey can get between 0.50 and 0.75, maybe even 1 inch on the border there with PA. But, it's not that impressive at all. Let's go to the HRRR 0Z. Now it looks like we have most of the zeros in. So let's see if we can look at this, at least take a look at what the HRRR is doing with this front. Doesn't really take us. You'll see, though, that the isobars are tight, so it will be breezy on Saturday as well. And we'll have that breeze. So we'll have a better idea on what's going to happen with that front tomorrow night, I think. All right, one last stop. We're going to Venture Sky here, and we're going to look at tomorrow here. So let me put this in. We'll visualize tomorrow here. It's 2 o'clock tomorrow. And you'll see there's that cool spot right there. Right, that's where the clouds are. Long Island is still in the low and mid 60s and maybe near 70. Again, I've got that east wind, so I can't imagine it getting that warm anywhere on Long Island with that wind. And then the clouds, looking at the clouds, you'll see here, that was clouds over Jersey going in. But if you look at Long Island, there aren't that many clouds at all. This is 2 o'clock here. All right, noon. You can see it's just off the south shore of these clouds. They don't really push in. It's like marine stratocumulus, maybe, or stratus deck. This is going to be interesting to watch. You can see it's over Jersey, but not over Long Island because the east winds. Long Island is clear. It's not until we get to it 4 or 5 o'clock. Then it starts rolling in on us. So we'll have to see what happens with that. We may have some of those clouds increasing, especially toward the afternoon. This is something that we'll have to watch. It's really hard to predict what's going to happen when you have that wind coming from the east and you have a little bit of moisture trapped underneath an inversion there. Could cause those clouds to pop up. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think the best chance will be over Jersey with the east wind. And, as far as Long Island goes, sunniest areas probably would be more toward the north versus south. But we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be fog. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it actually is showing fog over Jersey. But this is stratus. So, again, this is stratus clouds. This, we'll have to watch. You can see it's bringing a little fog into New Jersey here because the moisture level's higher. For Long Island, I don't think we see it. So that's the only fly in the ointment for tomorrow as far as those who want to see the sun. Other than that, it should be one more dry day, and then Saturday probably mostly dry until, like I said, that late evening hours. But we really could use some rain. It's been very, very dry here. It's not good for the plants. It's not good for our lakes. Our lakes are drying up, and it strains the whole ecosystem. Obviously, this is just very unusual. We go from one extreme to the other, from having too much rain. Now we're not having enough. And we didn't get any snowpack this winter, so that also means things are going to be very dry. And I'm just very surprised we haven't seen any big fires yet. But until we get some substantial rain here on Long Island, that risk remains. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Have a good night.